Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
I can't stop scratching my downtown. Yeah, but I'm not itching to go downtown and tell a receptionist I'm here to talk about my downtown. Some things you'd rather type than say out loud.
There's no question too embarrassing for Amazon Health AI. Chat your symptoms and get virtual care 24/7. Healthcare just got less painful.
This episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly, the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video generation. Built for today's creative process, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, and the timelines? Woo, yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Learn more at adobe.com/firefly.
Have you ever had a rabies shot?
I understand what you're saying,
No.
Your Honor.
Have you ever had a rabies shot?
Absolutely not, but I have been attacked by a
Have you
dog.
heard anybody ever tell you what a rabies shot feels like?
This is the plaintiff, Deborah Gamble Campbell. She says she was walking her dog down the street when a stray dog made a beeline for her and bit her in the leg. The cops traced the dog back to the defendant's house, and somehow the dog was let out. She had to get 7 rabies shots because the defendant's dog was unlicensed and had no tags. The defendant should be punished for being so irresponsible, and she's suing for the $1,500 she's owed. This is the defendant, Jerry Key. He says there's no way his little dog attacked the plaintiff and her dog, and he doesn't know why he's being blamed for something he says never happened. His dog just doesn't go around attacking people. He's a cute little thing that wouldn't harm a fly. Owe her money? No way. He's accused of being out of control.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Doug. You're welcome. Deborah Gamble Campbell?
Yes.
You are suing Jerry Key for $1,500 in pain and suffering because his dog attacked you.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
I was doing my daily walk. I have a beagle, and I usually walk him morning, afternoon, and night.
Oh my gosh, can you go to my place? Morning, afternoon, and night?
Yes, I walk him like about 8 o'clock in the morning. Then I walk him in the afternoon, and then I do his last walk.
Okay, that's not for accident. It's actually because the dog. You live in an apartment. So
Yes.
you're getting the dog out of the apartment
Yes.
to do his or her business?
Just to do what he has to do.
Gotcha.
And then in between times, I let him in the backyard.
Okay.
I guess this was like in the afternoon. I was taking him for his afternoon walk. And we usually go towards the green because now you can't go on the green. They made a law you can't go on the green with the dogs now because nobody's cleaning the poop up on the green. So we walk around the green. You got to walk him on the sidewalk. So it's a nice little walk, for him. We was walking around in a circle. Was on our way heading back home. And there was a young lady, I guess she was outside somewhere on the porch, and she yelled, "A stray dog is coming." So I grabbed, my dog name is Arrow. I grabbed Arrow. And
Arrow?
Yes, his name is Arrow. I grabbed Arrow and I picked him up because I didn't know where the dog was at and what he was gonna do. So I picked him up. As soon as I picked him up, a little white poodle came across the street and just charged after us and just started attacking me. The police was out there, but he was on the corner in the car. So I'm trying to move, and I'm dodging this way, dodging that way, and I'm like, "Get off of me, get away, get away, get away, the dog trying to bite me." So Arrow jumped, the dog jumped. You know how when dogs, usually when you pet them, they come up on your leg like this?
Well, they shouldn't, but yes,
right,
I know.
But he jumped up on my leg and he bit me. I guess he was trying to get to Arrow because Arrow was in my arm, but he couldn't get Arrow, so he bit me. So the police see the transaction.
Where did he bite you?
Above my knee.
Okay.
So the police must seen us in the street going, because I was going back and forth like, "Get away, get away." So the police got out the car, came towards the scene. He grabbed the dog, and the dog went to try to bite him. try to bite the police, but he didn't bite him. But he went to snap at him, and the police was
he
like,
knows who he can push around.
and yeah, I guess so. And the police was like, get away. So the dog fled and walked it towards. He went like straight down, and the police. Thank God the police followed him because the dog went home. After he did the incident, he went home. So the police followed him all the way to the house. And I guess after he brung him in the gate, I guess he brung him in the house and he shut the gate or whatever the police did once he got him in the yard. He came back out, and I couldn't really see where the police was going, so I flagged the cop down and I said, officer. So he
what about me? Right.
He came down the street, and I said, he bit me. And he was like, do you want me to call the ambulance? I was like, I can't get in the ambulance because I got my dog. I need to bring my dog home first. So he said, can I see the bite mark? So I pulled my leg up. I showed him the puncture wound. And he said, well, once you bring your dog home, go to the emergency room. I said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do because I don't know if the dog had rabies or not. So I brought the dog home.
Does a police officer give you the address of the house?
No, because I went to the emergency room. I haven't talked to him. He called the emergency room and made sure I got there and everything. And then I went to the emergency room and they cleaned the wound out and everything. And they gave me rape. They gave me the first day they gave me 4 shots.
Wait. Did the police officer make contact with them to find out whether the dog had its shot?
I think he spoke to someone. I got the police report.
And?
When he had spoken to me, actually I didn't speak with the police because the dog pound in our town was closed for some reason. I don't know why.
They took the dog to the dog pound?
No. The dog pound from the other town called me and asked me, has he had his shots? And I told him he was due.
Wait, why did the dog pound call you about the shots?
I don't know.
Okay. Animal control called you about the shots?
Well, okay.
And they asked you whether or not the dog has had its shots.
Correct.
Did you show proof of the shots? Or you couldn't find the piece of paper?
I couldn't find the paper, so...
Yeah, that's what we call then, she's got to get shots thanks to you not having the piece of paper to show it. So you ended up with how many rabies shots? Have you ever had a rabies shot?
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor.
No. Have you ever had a rabies shot?
Absolutely not, but I have been attacked by a dog.
Have you heard anybody ever tell you what a rabies shot feels like?
Oh, I know, they're terrible.
They're terrible, right?
Yes, they are.
How many shots did you have to get?
When I went to the emergency room, they gave me 4 shots where the puncture wound was at. I had to get a tetanus shot in one arm, a tetanus shot in the other. I had to go back a week later, get another shot. I had to go back 3 days later, get another shot. Then I had to go back another week and get another shot. Then I had to go do a follow-up. Then they gave me antibiotics for it. I have the police report in the hospital.
Show me the police report, show me the pictures. Do you have pictures of the knee?
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
I left my back door open rushing, and if she was bitten, then I really apologize because I've been bitten and I know how that is. My dog is not a vicious dog, and maybe in the excitement when she had her dog in her arm, he likes to play.
Yeah.
He likes to play, and if he bit her, I don't know if she was kicking at him, tell him to get away or what. But he's not just gonna run up to you and attack you.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, we get so many of these kids. What percentage of dog owners do you think are irresponsible and shouldn't own dogs?
I'd say around maybe 43%, 40-ish%.
I wasn't thinking of like an odd number like 43. Why so high?
Because people are irresponsible.
Okay, what do you think?
I'd put it pretty low, maybe 15%, because if you have a pet, you want a pet. But
okay, fair point. And you're going to be in the middle here, I think.
I'd say about a quarter. A quarter of people are pretty irresponsible with their dogs.
I'm going with you. Yeah. Actually, that sounds about right to me, going inside the courtroom.
Your dog gets out because you're an irresponsible dog owner who didn't lock the gate. The dog ends up biting somebody. She ends up having 437 shots. That's her knee that's all swollen up. And your defense is, nah, that's a nice dog. My dog wouldn't do that. That's your defense? Were you there when the officers came and knocked on the door that day?
No, I was at work.
Was someone else there?
My neighbors.
Your neighbors saw the officers and the officers talked to the neighbors?
I assume.
Well, how'd you find out that the officers had been there and that your dog had gotten out?
When I got there, they said that the police was looking for me, so I called the Derby Police Department, and they told me what happened.
All right. Mr. Key, when were you bitten by a dog?
Approximately about 5 years ago. I was brutally attacked by a dog.
And was the dog a stray? Had the dog gotten out of somebody's yard?
He was standing in the yard, and I walked by.
But not leashed. When you say you walked by, were you on someone's property and it was their dog? Is that what you mean?
Well, the gentleman was standing in the yard with the dog.
Yeah, but not on a leash?
No.
So the dog was loose because
Yeah.
the owner was standing there, and a lot of good it did because the dog went after you, right?
Right, there was no fence.
That's what makes it really odd that you would leave your back gate open. You know what the consequences could be.
Your Honor, I had no idea that I did it. I was rushing that day. I have a business downstairs, and once I go downstairs, I lock that door, and I'm rushing off to work. I don't use the door in the back because it usually stays locked, but the key broke off inside of the lock, so I don't lock it from the outside.
Blah, 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 and the dog ate my homework. Of all the people that should be careful, it's a guy who understands what they're doing to another human being, a guy who's actually gone through it. Okay? And not only does she have to go through the pain of getting bit, she has to go through the pain of the injections, which are, I don't know, was that worse than getting bit?
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
it is, right?
And
Because it was very painful.
And it was worse that I had to walk there.
You had to walk to the
all
hospital?
them times to get the shots.
Why? You had to walk, why? You don't have transportation?
I didn't have transportation.
How far is the hospital from you?
Well, I had to go to Griffin, so it's like...
A block.
A block or a mile and a half?
It's about a mile and a half from where I live at.
Oh, my goodness.
I live 5 minutes from the hospital. You can actually see
You know
it.
what? You got the wrong attitude for a guy whose dog got out and who caused this much damage. She didn't have to walk that much. Let her eat cake.
Your Honor, that's
Lock
not...
your door.
That's not what I'm
Lock your
saying.
door
And
and
I
pay
will.
the lady $1,500. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, that did not go well for the defendant who comes out on the losing end of this case here. Step on in here. What's your comment?
I apologize for leaving the door open. I sympathize with her. I didn't come here to try to make myself innocent or to speak up for the dog. I just merely came to let them know what type of dog that he was. All dogs bite. And I'm sorry.
You came all the way through this process and got this far just to say that your dog is not mean or vicious or whatever?
He isn't, but I wasn't there, so I can't say that he didn't bite her. He could have.
Why did you make her take you to court? Why couldn't you settle this, sir?
This happened 2 weeks ago, sir.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Right.
I got no mail saying that she was going to sue me. It was stuck in my door. That's all the mail that I got. It was 2 weeks ago. Prior to me being here is when it happened.
Okay, all righty. All right, head right down this way. I don't know. He says he's sorry, and his words are contrite, but does he act sorry to you?
I would have felt a lot more better if he would have came to my house and apologized and at least come and see if I was okay. He never came and followed up on it. He never came to see if I was okay. Never came to see if I was dead or alive or nothing. But I just thank God that everything went into my favor, and I accept his apology.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, if you have a dog owner who lives around you who's really irresponsible, call your local Department of Animal Control. What they can do is they can come out, they can investigate. Ultimately, they could have the dog removed from the neighborhood if the owner doesn't get wise. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
This is the plaintiff, John Plavnicki. He says he did some mechanical work on the defendant's car, plowed her driveway after a snowstorm, and she now refuses to pay him for his services. Just because the plaintiff's son doesn't like him, it doesn't give her the right to take advantage of him by not paying him. He has no other choice but to sue for the $623.41 he's owed. This is the defendant, not a Cernic. She says she's known the plaintiff for a very long time, and after her husband passed away, he showed up demanding money for work he did on her late husband's car. It doesn't make sense her husband would owe him anything because he always paid in cash at the end of every other job the plaintiff did for him, and he paid it right away. She's accused of not taking anyone's word for it.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Okay, Mr. Plevnicki, you are suing Mrs. Cernick for $623.41 that you say she owes you for different jobs that you did for her husband, and according to you, her husband never paid. Now, your husband is deceased, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, how long ago?
2011 in January.
2011. Okay, so about a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep my voice up. All right, so what's going on?
In July of 2010, Mr. Cernick contacted me that his van could not be inspected for pollution because the odometer did not work. And it was not unusual that he called me because over the 25 years that I've known him, without exaggeration, I've done over 100 jobs for him in that time. So I said to bring it over, and I'll see what I can do with
according to you, you were good friends with him.
That's correct.
Okay, go on.
And I told him to bring the van over, and I would see what I can do about repairing it. He did bring it over, and he said that while it was there, he wanted me to replace the tailpipe on the van and change the air cleaner. And I said, I'll take care of it. Well,
this is all when? July of 2010?
First week in July of 2010.
Okay.
Then I repaired the tailpipe and the air cleaner, and the speedometer. I changed what's called a speed sensor, and it did not fix the problem. And I told Mr. Cernick that, and that the dashboard would have to come out and be repaired, the speedometer in the dashboard. So I priced it with the Ford people, and they told me it would be about $300 to have it repaired, and they couldn't replace it because it was obsolete and they couldn't get a new one. I tried to buy a used one in a junkyard, but they only used that speedometer in that one-year van, and it was very rare, and I couldn't find a used one. I told Mr. Cernick this, and he said to get it repaired. I took it to Park City Ford in Bridgeport, and a week later they called me that they had it. I went and picked it up, and I started to put it in, but before I could finish the job, I ran into a bit of a problem, or rather a problem ran into me. A car T-boned me on my motorcycle.
Oh my goodness.
Broke my leg, broke 6 ribs in multiple places, broken clavicle, broken shoulder, and a collapsed lung. Okay. I was hospitalized in critical condition in intensive care for 3 days, and then I was transferred to a nursing home.
For how long?
I was in 2 different nursing homes for 3 months.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. You started to say something. I want to make sure I'm following what you're saying. You said, I brought it back in before I could work on it. I thought you said that you had taken it somewhere to be worked on.
I took it to the Park City Ford to rebuild the odometer. They rebuilt it, and I picked it up.
Oh, you just took the odometer to them.
I took the whole thing out and gave it to them.
And gave the thing,
That's
not
right.
the car, the
That's
thing
right.
to them.
I gave a part,
and then,
and
so the
they
last
fixed it.
piece was that you were going to put it into the car.
That's correct.
And then what happened?
But I didn't have a chance to do that.
Because you got into your accident.
I got in the accident.
Okay. And during that time, where's the van?
In my yard.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Cernick called me in the nursing home and asked me if there was anything I can do so he can get his van back. Obviously, I was in no shape to do anything. And, but I did know a friend of mine, a mechanic friend nearby, that I called, and he agreed to try to fix Mr. Cernick's van for me and finish it. He did come and finish it. I called Mr. Cernick back and told him that the van was completed and that he could pick it up. I didn't learn this until a couple of weeks later when, a quirk of fate, Mr. Cernick wound up in the second nursing home that I was in, right across the hall from my room.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Talk about fate.
All right.
Anyway, while he was in the nursing home, I went to visit him quite frequently, and he informed me that the van did pass the pollution test and everything was okay.
Okay. Why are you suing 2 years later for this amount? Why didn't you collect from him then?
During this time, I've had 7 major operations on my leg, and the fact that he had died.
You forgot to bill? Well, he didn't die until January, right? May I ask you, sir? Sir. I'm sorry, stand up for me, will you?
Right.
You are, I take it, the son?
I'm the son.
Okay. All right. He passed away in January?
January 18th, 2011.
Okay. Stay with me a moment. All right. So that was...
I didn't get out of the nursing homes until end of October.
Okay. And then you have, I mean, you're able to visit people and talk. You can write a bill and you can, you have a...
It was pretty tough to get around. I was wearing an external...
Okay, so for 6 months you don't bill him. And then he passes away in January. And then for all this time you don't bill anybody. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, you remember that somebody owes you money from 2 years ago?
It wasn't that I just remembered. I had 7 major operations on my leg in that time frame, and I wasn't really too able to worry about a billing. I did go to see Mrs. Cernick in the spring of this year, and I told her about the outstanding bill, and she said she'd have to talk to her son about it, and she'd get back to me.
Okay.
Weeks went by, she never got back to me. I went there a second time, and her son happened to be mowing the grass there that day, and she called him in, and he confronted me, and very irate, he said, get out of the house immediately, he's going to call the police, and he ain't paying me a nickel.
Okay, talk to me.
Real simple. 2 months before he allegedly performed work on my dead father's car. And for the life of me, I don't know how my father could have driven that car to his house or picked it up afterwards, because he was completely incapacitated. Mentally, he could not drive out of the driveway without my mother being with him. Physically, he could not drive that entire year.
How old was he?
He was 84 years old. He was in resting homes and hospitals for 9 months out of the 12 months in 2010. But let me get to the point here. In May of that particular year, okay, I had heard that my father had asked this man here to cut down his neighbor's tree. I called him up on the phone. I said, John, you're a good friend of my father's. I said, please don't do this. My father is suffering from dementia. There's absolutely nothing wrong with his neighbor's tree. The only reason he wants to cut it down...
He has no right to cut the neighbor's tree down.
Excuse me?
Your father has no right to declare to somebody...
The neighbor had no problem with it, because the neighbor was going to get
the neighbor was probably delighted.
The neighbor was going to get half the tree. So at that point, I said, if you
What do you mean, though? I don't understand what you mean, he was going to get half the tree.
John was going to cut down a giant oak tree, right, the value of which, if it's cut up, is worth thousands of dollars.
Oh, the wood, the firewood.
The wood, absolutely.
So your father tells him, cut down this tree, I'll pay you. And then the neighbor doesn't mind because they're going to get firewood. And who else is getting firewood? He's getting firewood?
He's getting
paid.
He's getting the other half of the firewood, and my father paid him $650. And I told him explicitly on the telephone, John, do not do this. You are taking advantage of a man who's suffering from dementia. I beg you not to do this. I told John, if you show up at my father's house that day that you're going to cut the tree down, I'm going to call the cops. He says, you go ahead and call the cops. So guess what? I stayed out of it because my father got involved, and he said, listen, John's going to cut the tree down. I don't care what you say. Right. So this man didn't respect my wishes, okay? Reasonable wishes to stay out of the way and to stop trying to do this. So it goes on from there. He pays for the tree. All along, he has always paid John in cash. My mother will attest to that, and so will John, okay? So now you have a situation where I'm still trying to figure out why I'm in front of you 2 years later. If my father had a debt, he paid it. If there was work done on that car, I'm sure it was paid. And the saddest thing about this is that from the time that this man told me to stay away and don't get involved in that tree cutting episode in May until September or October of that year, I was estranged from both of my parents because it upset me so much of what my father did. Why? My father did. He chose this man over me.
No, but that's where you're wrong. Bob, listen to me. Because I am in your shoes right now. I have a 90-year-old father, about to be 90, and a mother who's about to be 87, all right? He didn't choose that stranger over you. He chose independence. And it's
They're fighting
really
to
hard
stay.
when you got to take the car away, then you got to think about everybody's safety, but you're trying to do the right thing and respect your elders, and you're trying to walk that fine line between independence and decision making. There's just this whole complicated set of events. If you spent that time estranged, shame on you and shame on them. But that he cannot possibly be a factor, and that should never have been. And mercifully, that resolved itself before he passed away, and then you would have great regrets. Okay? You're a good son. Mrs. Cernick, did your husband pay his bills right away?
Right away.
And in cash?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember this stuff, like about the odometer and all that? Or you don't
no,
really?
I don't remember many things.
Okay. Okay. Can I just ask you about the whole tree thing? When the son gets involved and says to you, I would really rather you not do this. I feel like, you're taking advantage and blah, blah, blah. Why was your position to go forward with it? You just felt it wasn't his right?
Okay. Can anybody here tell me motorcycles are safe? I just need to hear it from somebody as to why. Are they relatively safe? Anybody? What do you think?
No, not at all. I don't think so.
You're nodding too?
Oh, no way. No.
Anybody here ever have a motorcycle?
No.
I have one.
You have one now?
I do.
Are they safe?
It's a scooter. Not really.
Oh, but you have one.
Of course. I've had it since I was 16. It was my first vehicle.
Ever in an accident?
Yes.
Bad?
No, not bad at all. But
Okay, I just think they're so unsafe. Going inside the courtroom.
Mr. Cernick wanted me to cut these 2 trees down because he planned on building a garage on his property, and he was worried that once the garage is built, there's no place to drop these huge trees. He talked with his neighbor about taking these trees down. The neighbor...
Did you feel that Mr. Cernick was competent at the time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I told Mr. Cernick that his son had called me and threatened to have me arrested if I showed up the next day.
And if you're... When, in relation to the car, when were the trees?
Oh, there was quite some time before that.
Okay. You are basically saying that the deceased Mr. Cernick
Yes.
owes you money.
Yes.
On what legal theory are you going to make his wife pay his debt? Assuming there is a debt.
Yes.
Let's assume for the purposes of this discussion that there is a debt, that you never got paid for that. Why would it be her responsibility to pay his bill?
Because she inherited his estate.
Well, you're not suing his estate, are you? You're suing her personally.
I was told I had to sue her, not the estate.
Well, you were misinformed, number one. But why would any judge look at a situation where someone has now been deceased for almost 2 years and say, oh, yeah, I'm sure that's a legitimate debt with all this time that has passed? You had months of money. I was in a big, serious car. I understand that. People get injured, and then you apparently had 2 months that you were uninjured and free from the nursing home situation, and still no bill was presented on somebody who purported was a good friend of yours. What do you suppose your good friend of 25 years who gave you over 100 jobs is thinking right now that you drag his widow into court to sue her over something that is 2 years old?
I didn't really want to sue.
Oh, yeah, you did.
No,
you know
didn't.
how I know you did? 'Cause you did. Okay?
I really wanted to sue the son, but I can't.
Yeah, well, you can't sue the son, and you can't sue the wife just because she's the wife. Neither one of them need to pay you verdict for the defendants.
Hold on right there, both sides, please.
So the judge's verdict takes care of that old debt, if there was a debt, is no longer. Why do you want to sue the son so badly?
Well, he's the one that is regulating all the finances. Mr. Cernick told me that he cleaned out his bank account, and that's why he had to wait quite some time to get a Social Security check to pay me for the tree job that he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. So you have it in for the son?
I don't really have it in for him, but he was the one I really should have sued, but I can't sue him because she is his wife, and I was told that I had to sue her.
You were wrong. All right, head right down that way. And let's see what the defendants have to say about this. So come on in here, and Mr. Cernick, step on in here. And so what's your feeling about the judge's ruling here?
Oh, it's fine.
He seems to have something against you.
He has something against me. That's his problem. But karma, he's got to live with this karma. And he had a motorcycle accident 3 days or about a month or two after he cut down a neighbor's tree against his son's wishes. Mm-hmm. And God works in strange ways, and he's working in strange ways today as well.
Well, does this put this all to bed for you now?
As far as we're concerned, because until 2 or 3 months ago, we never thought we owed anybody any money. I mean, this is a broadside for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go to Harvey.
Okay, you know, even if the wife is the sole beneficiary, what he has to do is file a claim, a creditor's claim with the estate. That is the only way to deal with situations like this. They will toss you out of court if you don't go through probate court. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
What if I told you you only have 12 hours to legally have sex?
To finding true love. Or just like a good guy.
From the director of Easy A and Anyone But You.
This whole thing is nuts.
There's nothing traditional about this night.
On August 7th, the clock starts on the summer's biggest rom-com.
I'm Owen.
Allie.
What about you and me?
Monica Barbaro, Callum Turner.
I've been told I'm a 7.
By who? Your mom?
Nah, she thinks I'm a 10.
One night only. Rated R. Only in theaters August 7th.
This is the plaintiff, Janet Janeski. She says she was going to purchase a townhouse for her recently divorced daughter and hired an inspector to check for any violations and radon leaks. The defendant, however, had a change of heart regarding the sale of the townhouse and backed out of the deal. She went through the expense of hiring the inspector, which turned out to be a waste of time and money. And so she's suing here today for the $725 she spent. This is the defendant, Barbara DeSpirito. She says she had every intention of selling the townhouse, but changed her mind because her life became a bit chaotic due to work issues. Her broker told her there'd be no penalty if she changed her mind as long as it was before a contract was signed. Since she had no such contract with the plaintiff, she owes her nothing. She's accused of going back on her word.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Litigants been sworn.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Janeski, you are suing Ms. DeSpirito for $725, the cost that you paid for a home inspection on the sale of a home where she ended up backing out of it.
Correct.
What happened?
Well, in early summer, I began looking for a home for my daughter. And
wow, nice mom. You were going to buy it for her?
Yes.
Okay.
She had just gone through a divorce.
Okay.
So I wanted it in this specific complex. And I was taken to the defendant's condominium that was for sale. I looked at it a couple of times. I made her an offer to purchase, a written offer to purchase. I paid the fee that goes with the binder. And we negotiated.
Meaning a deposit on the sale?
Correct.
Okay, and you signed a binder?
I signed a binder.
Which is essentially a contract agreeing to sign a contract later?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And we negotiated back and forth for several weeks before we came up to a final price. She signed the binder back October 4th. After that, I had the binder in hand, the written binder in hand. The only condition that I had was a home inspection and radon test. I retained a home inspector who did the home inspection and
that person charged you $725?
Correct.
Do you have the receipt for that?
I do.
Okay, can I see that?
Yes, you may.
And then what happened? I assume your daughter's all excited?
Yes.
And was she going to live there alone or with?
Her two children.
Her two children, your grandchildren?
Correct.
And was it near you?
It was very close to me.
Okay.
And several days later, when I got the inspection back, I called my broker and I said, I'm ready to move forward. And
the inspection was all right?
Yes.
Okay.
And around the 18th of October, I got a call from my broker that the seller was not going to sell the condo, and she wasn't going through with the deal.
And this is what, October of last year?
2011.
Of 2011.
Right.
What happened?
What she said is true, Your Honor. I had the condo up for sale. I had to get out. I was a single parent. I had two teenagers living at home, so I wanted everybody out. I wanted them to become responsible, move on.
When you say teenagers, I assume you mean over 18?
Over 18,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out, you 13-year-old.
Yeah.
I had you about here.
They needed to go. They needed to go, but they didn't have their apartments. Nobody was ready to go at that point. My contingency was that the house sold as is.
Right.
Okay. And I asked my realtor, look, do I still have time to back out because my kids aren't set? I'm not set. I had some other issues I was dealing with.
But why were you? But you had a realtor. You put it up for sale. Somebody bid. You negotiated, and you sign a binder. Don't you think?
Yep. And then I got.
What happened?
Then I got This is the truth. I got cold feet. The
I
condo
want
was
the truth.
my mother. It was my mother. She had just passed away in March. I was still. She lived with me. It was rightfully it's her condo.
The trust gives the condo to whom upon your mother's death?
Me.
Okay, so it's your condo.
So
Go
it's,
ahead.
yeah, I get to
Yeah.
live there and downsize if necessary. It was necessary to downsize because financially it was too much
Well, you
to
own it.
handle.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, but why'd you
But
back
in-
out?
but
Is what
in
I'm
her-
asking.
But in her will,
Yeah.
I had to be careful because there's other people. When I die, the house gets divided between other siblings.
Oh,
You see?
I see,
So
yeah.
it was very complicated, and I
Yeah,
had
but
to make.
see, you know that, and that's so you should sort of
I
think about that
know,
before.
I know,
So
Your
what
Honor.
actually happened to change your mind? All the things you're saying
Okay.
are facts that were there beforehand. What happened between the day you signed the binder and the day you tell your realtor I'm out?
So should this defendant have to pay for the inspector?
Yes.
Why?
It's a verbal contract. They agreed to it.
Okay, they even had something in writing, so should she have to pay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Just because they agreed to it, they wrote about it.
But it wasn't in a long formal agreement.
But still, they wrote, right, and signed their name. I still think they should.
Fair enough, going inside the courtroom.
Ma'am, I have such a simple question. Why did you back out? You're talking about, you're complaining about stuff on the binder you signed. I didn't sign it, you
Right.
signed it.
I backed
So why'd
out.
you back out?
I backed out because I found out that my employer was moving. I didn't know where they were moving. My kids didn't yet have their apartments, and I was dealing with a lot of other things. Everything was caving in. It just wasn't the right time. Did I feel bad? Absolutely. I felt terrible about it.
But not bad enough to recompense her for her wasted $725 inspecting a home that you backed out of.
I understand that, but I also didn't sign a legal contract. It was a binder.
Right. What do you think a binder is? Binders have always thrown me for a loop anyway. The whole idea of agreeing to agree. We both agree we're going to agree. Well, alrighty then. You know, what does that mean? I don't know, you know. Go ahead.
I understood it as a binder is an agreement until you actually go into final contracts.
Okay.
You still have a right up until the time you go into actual contracts to back out. It binds them to the next step, I guess.
But you refused to get to the next step.
I know.
You pulled out unilaterally. So how can you look at it and say, I didn't have to, at a minimum, good faith negotiate the next step? First of all, everything had been negotiated. The purchase price was already set. The deposit was already set. You weren't going to get financing. It's an all-cash deal.
It was a cash deal.
It is I think you're confusing two concepts.
Mm-hmm.
You can have an as-is sale. I have only sold houses in my life as is.
Mm-hmm.
But I have also only sold houses where buyers insisted on an inspection period. That doesn't mean it's not as is. It means the buyer has X days, whatever you negotiate. Usually I've seen them around 10, I don't know what you negotiate, to have an inspection period.
Mm-hmm.
They bring an inspector in, then the inspector and they huddle, and then she says, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means. You don't have to fix anything. What happens in practicality is that you want to sell your house, she wants to buy it, but she just found out there's a $5,000 termite tenting bill or whatever. None of this has any bearing on anything because the truth of the matter is that what happened is that you got cold feet. Did you end up selling the place?
Yes.
For more or less?
And okay, here's the kicker, Your Honor. I hurt myself because I ended up selling for $5,000 less than what they were giving it to me
The purchase
for.
price was $5,000 less?
Yes.
Is there no end to how these children suck the life out of us?
I know. To have my kid, in order for my kids to have more time to get themselves in order.
Did the realtor charge you for the failed deal, for this failed deal?
No. I didn't hire that other one back because she was part of the problem.
What was the problem? You didn't tell me her name, just tell me what she did wrong.
She wasn't like keeping me updated, we went from August to October, and at August I wasn't planning to sell it. I said, no, forget it. And then this comes back to me with a date of August. I'm saying in August I wasn't even considering selling.
That was just a typo, right? Like, it's just somebody wrote the wrong date.
Actually, the original offer was made in August.
What happened between August and October?
There was negotiations.
Oh, okay.
On price.
On the price,
back and forth. And then at that time I wasn't even going to go ahead with it.
All right. Binders have always thrown me for a loop anyway because they're not. It's sort of the concept is sort of weird. However, let's look at the binder in this case, and they are, enforceable to some extent. Did you hand me the binder? Right. In the binder, it says there are 3 conditions. One is that the contract of sale are to be signed, and the balance of the deposit is to be made before September 4th. 2 was scratched out, which is financing, and 3 was an inspection. But was there a date? Did you have like 10 days to do an inspection? How did that work?
I believe it had to be done within 7 days.
Yeah. All right. In any event, in every binder, the intent of the parties is that there's going to be another contract. Okay, that this isn't all she wrote, that there's going to be something else. However, that doesn't mean, if the binder means nothing, then why sign it and why call it a binder? At a minimum, it always has to mean that you're not going to sell it to somebody else while the binder's in effect. At a minimum, it's going to mean that you have to hand over the money the binder talks about. Well, what else does it mean? I believe that in the circumstances of this case, at a minimum, it means that there's going to be some good faith sitting at a table because you've agreed to agree. You pulled out completely for whatever reasons that you had, and that's fine. What I don't understand is why you wouldn't attempt to recompense her for the money she totally wasted by you pulling out. Because you know that she had a bill. Did she ever send you the bill? Did anybody ever ask you to pay for the bill, or you just got sued?
No, yeah. Once I backed out, my realtor calls me and says, Barbara, they're going to sue you. So I said, okay, they're going to sue me. So I was waiting for something to come. And then
the lawsuit came.
Yeah, and then nothing came until my house was just sold now, like a month ago. And then I guess when they found out I sold the house, it rekindled old memories. So they figured, okay. And that's what happened. So then I finally got the thing in the mail. So I was gonna, try to do the right thing.
And yet you're here. Okay. So
here.
I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $725 plus your court costs.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And so the defendant comes out here because that defense, was that your defense? What was your defense exactly? What
My
was it
defense
exactly?
was I didn't have a libel contract. It was a binder. That was my defense, right.
Right. And what is a binder?
What is a
big
binder?
question.
I guess I just found out the answer.
Yeah, it's a legal contract.
That's it. I guess so.
And so you couldn't sell at the time because
I had issues.
Circumstances.
My kids weren't ready. Nobody was ready.
Why don't you kick these kids out already?
I did. This next time, they're out. They're out. Now life goes on for me now.
All right, good to be here. All right, good luck in the
Thank you very much.
next phase.
Okay, thank you.
All right, head right down there. All right, so come on in here. Step on in here. You satisfied how this comes out?
I'm completely satisfied.
How badly did it screw things up for you when she
It took me another 5 months to find another place.
Mm-hmm. And did it work out okay? Is it better?
It did.
Even better, maybe? These things sometimes?
Yes.
All right, so all's well.
Yes.
So what is a binder?
A binder is a contract.
Harvey?
There is a concept called good faith negotiation. It's implied really in every contract, and all judges enforce it.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast. An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.